So, what if the next huge scientific breakthrough isn't discovered by a human at all, but by an AI that works nonstop while we're all sleeping? Today, we're going to look at a project that might just be the very first step into that new era of discovery, one where the researchers themselves are actually artificial intelligences. Let's just kick things off with this really provocative vision of the future. It's from the renowned AI researcher Andrej Karpathy. And he's painting this picture where human scientists, or meat computers as he calls us, are basically a thing of the past, totally replaced by swarms of AIs. And look at the date he puts on it, March 2026. That's right around the corner. Now, I know this sounds like it's straight out of a movie plot, but this vision is exactly what sparked a real project. Something you can go and download from GitHub right now. It's called Autoresearch, and it's designed to be the very beginning of that exact future. Okay, so what is this thing really? Well, at its core, it's an idea that's been made real. An AI agent that basically acts like a tireless, completely autonomous research assistant, just chugging away 24/7. The concept is just beautifully simple. And that's really where its power comes from. You just give the AI a goal, something like, hey, make this model better, and it just works around the clock to do it. It runs experiment after experiment after experiment, and then it leaves this detailed report for you to check out in the morning. And this is the core loop that the AI follows. I mean, while you're sleeping, it can run this cycle hundreds of times. It just tweaks the code, trains the model for a few minutes, checks to see what happened, and then decides if it's an improvement or not. And then it just does it all over again, constantly exploring this huge landscape of possibilities. But the genius of auto research isn't just the idea itself. It's the really clever and simple constraints that it operates under. The rules of the game that it forces the AI to play by. The entire project, believe it or not, just revolves around these three files, and each one has a super clear purpose. You've got a setup file that's totally fixed, a training file that's like the AI's playground, and then a program file where the human, that's you, sets the big picture goals. So here's the crucial point, this single design choice. The AI gets to go wild and change literally anything inside that one train.py file, the model's architecture, hyperparameters, you name it. But it absolutely cannot touch anything else. And this keeps all the experiments really focused and makes the results super easy for a human to come in and review later. And that brings us to what might be the single most important rule in the whole project. Every single experiment, doesn't matter how simple or how complicated the changes, gets a fixed time budget, exactly 5 minutes. This is not some arbitrary number. It is a brilliant constraint that gives you two massive benefits. First, it makes every single result perfectly comparable. A bigger model is only better if it can get superior results within that same 5-minute window. And second, it automatically optimizes for your specific computer. The AI will find the absolute best model that can possibly be trained on your GPU in 5 minutes. It's genius. So this whole structure, the simple files, that strict time limit, it all leads to this really profound shift in what it even means to be a researcher. You're no longer down in the weeds, tweaking every single line of code. This changes the job completely, right? You're not coding the model anymore. You're writing the high-level instructions for your AI agent. You're not the scientist at the lab bench anymore. You are now the manager of a research team, and your job is to set the strategy for your AI agents. So what does all this mean for the future? Well, this isn't just some thought experiment. It's a very active, growing project that has totally captured the imagination of the entire developer community. I mean, the project has absolutely exploded in popularity on GitHub. Thousands and thousands of developers are starring it, but even more importantly, they're forking it, which means they're creating their own versions to build on top of and evolve the original idea. And this really matters because the community is already adapting it for all kinds of different computers. While the original was built for a really powerful NVIDIA GPU, there are now versions for MacBooks and standard Windows machines. This is making this new type of research accessible to pretty much everyone. Which, brings us right back to where we started. Karpathy's post wasn't just a prediction, it was a mission statement. This simple GitHub repository with its clever rules and its autonomous little agent could honestly be the seed of a completely new way of doing science. And that leaves us with a final and pretty powerful question to think about. In a world where an AI can run 1,000 experiments while we sleep, what is the primary role of human creativity and discovery going to be? What kind of questions will we even ask when the AI is the one finding all the answers?